Good evening, everyone. Today, I'm going to discuss about the chapter transpiration. Okay, transpiration is quite an important chapter and the topic to learn for the students of ICSE, ISC, and CBSE boards. Okay, in this video, I'll briefly discuss about transpiration, its important, and the various aspects of transpiration. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's get started. So, as you see at the top, as a definition states that it is a biological process through which loss of water in the form of water vapor takes place from the aerial parts of the plants like stomata, cuticle, lenticule. Okay, so biological process, absolutely, it's a biological process through which the water losses in the form of water vapor. So here you can see in this diagram, this water absorbed by the roots, all right, and they travel up through the plant and they go to the leaves, and as from the leaves the water get released in the water as vapor. Okay, so that's in briefly is your transpiration. This diagram is sorry, this definition is appropriate and you can use it wherever you want. So here is a small graphical representation of its which is called as bell jar experiment. Okay, to prove that whether transpiration actually happens or not. Okay, here you can see a plant which has been kept in a jar, inside a jar, bell jar, actually it's a glass jar, and these are rubber sheets that has been blocked or blocking that connection between the soil and the plant, and this at the bottom there is a glass plate. Okay, the corners of this bell jar has been blocked by vaseline so that no water vapor can leave. So it has been kept for some time. You can also do it at your home. Okay, it's a very interesting thing to learn and to prove that whether actually transpiration happens or not. So you just keep it, and after sometimes you give it some time, like one day in the morning time, if you give it some good time, you'll see that the water bubbles starts appearing in the bell jar, okay, which was not present at the earlier time. And it proves that yes, plants do transpirate. Okay, they do release water in the form of water vapor. All right, let's come into the importance. What is the importance of this transpiration? First comes cooling effect. All right, like human being, we do sweat, right? We do perspirate, and that's to cool us down, to decrease our body temperature. Okay, so in the case of plants, transpiration does that function. Okay, you can see here it helps in keeping the temperature of the plant low even when the plant is exposed to bright sunlight. All right, ascent of sap. Transpiration develops a suction force which helps in the ascent of sap. So what is ascent of sap? Ascent of sap is the against the gravity. Okay, against the gravity action, or you can say a flow of sap. Sap means the water which is mixed with mineral that has been absorbed by the roots. Okay, so as the plant, it loses the water in the form of water vapor, more demands of water generates in the roots. All right, or it generates a kind of suction force which forces the water up against the gravity and take it to the leaves. All right, transport of minerals and water. Yes, absolutely, we do all know basically that the plant, they, with the help of roots, they absorb the water. No, that is not true. With the water they also absorb minerals. All right, so more and more transpiration means more and more minerals, and minerals are very much essential for the growth of the plants. Fourth comes development of mechanical tissue. Plants showing high transpiration rate exhibits adequate development of mechanical tissue. Now, what is mechanical tissue? Mechanical tissue gives plant the support. Okay, physical support. Physical support. Okay, so this physical support is being provided by this transpiration. Means more transpiration means more water demand. So water tend to stay in the tissues for longer time, and they become more distained. So they can they can actually stop, or they can actually absorb any shock from the outside. Okay, quality of fruits. Yes, High rate of transpiration leads to the development of fruits with increased sugar and mineral content. Yes, as more and more, what do you call that, minerals have been absorbed, and that will be stored, which is not used in the plants, that will be stored in the fruits. That's why we do prefer fruits, because we all know that one fruit in a session keep the doctor away. I have just replaced that apple with the fruits. Yeah, fruits are very much essential all in throughout the season. Okay, seasonal fruits. And the roots also, the proper anchoring of the plant roots must be well developed. Higher rate of transpiration may lead to well developed root system. Very easy to understand. Okay, there comes the number seventh, that is transpiration affects climate. Absolutely, transpiration increases the moisture in the atmosphere and brings rain. As you can see, the plant, they do release the water in the form of water vapor, and that water vapor later on increases the moisture and also responsible for bringing the rain. Okay, so do stay here. I'll show you at the end of the slides that what how much a plant affects to bring the rain. Okay, very some clue, interesting clues are there. You'll get them. Now let's come to the instrument part. What is the instrument part? Potometer is a device that measures the rate of water intake by a plant. The water intake is almost equal to the water loss through transpiration. Yes. So as much as water is absorbed by the plant, all right, so that much amount of water will be released by the plant through transpiration. So it's the main funda of this potometer is to detect, is to measure that water intake is almost equal to water loss. Okay, water loss through transpiration. Okay, so this is our that potometer. You can see that color water has been kept there, and this is a plant, and this plant has been blocked. There is some kind of cotton or oil are also there, which works as a which stops the evaporation of the water. So it can be easily measured that how much water is running through the column, that much water only will be absorbed by the plant. Okay, as a colored water, and they have just they just put inside some air bubbles, so we can see clearly that how much water bubble is running throughout the tube. Okay, and this is a Ganong spotometer. Ganong spotometer is a more simplified version and quite interesting one. And you can see they have in this Ganong potometer, they have just introduced one air bubble. Okay, so the difference between Ganong spotometer and potometer, in earlier potometer, conventional potometer, they uses so many air bubble. They utilizes so many air bubble inside. Okay, you can see the air bubbles inside. Okay, and in the case of this Ganong spotometer, there is only one air bubble. Okay, now comes to the types of transpiration. Stomatal transpiration from the leaves through the stomata, that happens generally in the daytime. Then comes cuticle directly from the surface of the leaves and takes place throughout the day and night. Okay, lenticular transpiration occurs through the small pores called lenticels present in the bark and woody stem. So you should know that what are the places, okay, where the lenticels remain, where the cuticle remains, where the stomata remains. So in this diagram you can see this these that's how the stomata actually looks like. There is one stomata. Okay, these are all stomata. Let me take a different color. I think blue will be better. So you can see these are the stomata. Okay, microscopic image. And these are also stomata in the leaves. Okay, these all are stomata. Okay, what are these? These are stomata. Okay, and cuticle cuticles are they stay here. Cuticle is kind of thick layering. Okay, these are the stomata. This pore is the stomata, and the stomata are guarded by two guard cell. Okay, these are two guard cell, and from here the water loss takes place. Okay, now some leaves, they do have cuticle, thick layer of cuticle. It's kind of covering over the leaves, which stops and also helps in the transpiration. Okay, And there is a very cute and very interesting one. These diagrams, these are actually the guard cell. These are the guard cell. Okay. I hope this color will be good. These are guard cell. Okay, this one and also this one. And the small one inside, the small one, these are the some eggs of some parasite. Okay, parasite. It's not important for you, but the parasite, they do lay the eggs because they search for places, safe places where they can lay the eggs. Now you can think why that I have kept these images of the potatoes and apples there. Okay, it's very interesting and it's very very interesting. Okay, let me just tell you, these apples, I hope you have seen it because almost all of us, we do consume, we do eat apples. So you might have seen this kind of spots in the apples, right? These small small spots, these small spots are called lenticels. Okay, and in the potato also, these are the lenticels. Okay, they also help in transpiration, but this is potato always remains underground, so there is very less amount of transpiration can occur through lenticels. But these are the what do you call this, apples, they have this kind of lenticels on their skin. And this is a woody bark. These leaves like things in the bark region, these are all lenticels. Okay, so that's how guard cell looks. That's how lenticels looks, and that's how stomata is a very nice diagram to understand what is stomata, what is guard cell. Though we'll discuss about it in the later stage. Okay. Now comes to the factors affecting transpiration. There are two factors: external factors and internal factors. External factors means which affects the plants from the outside, and internal factors which are inside the plants that affect the transpiration. So external, like atmospheric humidity. Okay, the rate of transpiration is inversely proportional to the rate of humidity. Means humidity means what? The quantity of, what do you call that, water, right? Water in the atmosphere. So if the atmosphere is much more humid, means it have much amount of water in the atmosphere, then what happen, the rate of transpiration stops. All right. So you can see this is the most important factors, that of transpiration is inversely proportional to the atmospheric humidity. Very important factor, external factor. Then comes temperature. Okay, up to a certain up to limit, increase in temperature results in increase the rate of transpiration. At very high temperature, transpiration decrease. Yes, absolutely. Just like us, we cannot, we cannot absorb, we cannot, what you call, suffer more and more amount of heat. So there is a particular temperature which defines a good rate of transpiration. Okay, light stimulates transpiration through favoring opening stomata. The stomata you have seen already here. This stomata, these guard cells, they do open in the morning when there is more sun. Okay, more sun, more hotness is there, and this guard cell, they do open. So the stomata also gets opening. You can see the opening right there, and from the opening, the water loss happens. And in the night, as there is no light, no sunlight, so these guard cells, they remain closed, and the rate of transpiration is negligible in the night. Okay. Wind velocity, transpiration is less in the still air. Absolutely, rate of transpiration increases along with increase in the wind velocity. Although at very high velocity, rate of transpiration decreases. Okay. So what happened, when there is, why do we use fan? Because fan increases the rate of the air. It circulates the air in our rooms, so that flowing wind keeps us cool. We feel relaxed, just like, so the plant also just like the same thing. So if the wind velocity is more, so it also provides the plant some space, some fresh air, and in the fresh air they can release more and more water. Okay, so, you know that's how things works. Plants, you have to, if you have to learn the plants, you have to think the plant like you. Okay, next comes atmospheric pressure. Rate of transpiration is inversely proportional to the atmospheric pressure. Okay, carbon dioxide, increases in carbon dioxide in the outside air over normal 0.03%, sorry, causes stomata to close and results in decrease in transpiration. So carbon dioxide, it plays a very key role. All right, next comes internal, like stomata. Stomata, rate of transpiration is directly proportional to the number of stomata. Absolutely, it's very easy to understand. As much number, the more number of the stomata means more number of area in the leaves from which the plant can lose the water. Okay, rate of transpiration is directly proportional to percentage of open stomata. Absolutely, not all stomata can open. It depends on so many factors. So as many open stomata means many more chances of transpiration. Then monocots transfer more than dicots because they have, one layer of what you call seed coats, so they transfer more. Cuticle rate of transpiration is inversely proportional to the thickness of the cuticle. I have already told you before. Then canopy structure, dense canopy causes decrease in the transpiration because in transpiration such as canopy obstruct airflow. Okay, there is a small spelling, something has came inside, sorry for that. It mean to say, in a deep forest, in a very congested forest, there's very less chances of good airflow, right? Because the airs are congested inside, so which decreases the rate of transpiration. So the airflow must be important. Airflow must be important depending on the canopy structure. Canopy structure means the structure of the forest, whether it's dense, whether it's moderate. It depends on that. Next comes root to shoot ratio. Transpire per unit area is directly proportional to root shoot ratio. Water content of the leaves. If the water content of the leaves decreases due to insufficient absorption of water by the roots, the leaves wilt and transpiration is reduced. Means that for good transpiration, all the surface of the leaves should be opened. Okay, I'll show you this in the there is a image right after some slides. Okay, leaf structure are some other internal factors. So here you can see this is a micrographical image. So these are the data. This is the stomata, and this is the cuticle. You can see how much thick layer of cuticle outside the stomata. Okay, so some adaptation in plants to reduce excessive transpiration. Okay, transpiration is necessary because it keeps the air moisture. You have learned all the importance, but in some situations, some condition, like in the deserts. Okay, like in the desert condition or dry season, what happened? There's a scarcity of water, right? Scarcity of water takes place. So what happened at that time? The plants loses the luxury to loss water. Correct. When the dry season is there, the plant cannot lose water. So what happened? They have to adapt themselves. They have to adapt themselves to reduce transpiration. So we will learn about that. Okay. And one more point, this kind of adaptation also find in xerophytic plants. Okay, xerophytic Xerophytic plants means those who have adapted for dry season, dry atmosphere, and also the desert plants. Okay, very easy to keep in mind. Desert plants. So the first thing is shrunken stomata. The stomata may be shrunken or covered by hairs. So you can see this is a shrunken stomata. Okay, the shrunken stomata, you can see these are the cells, and you see they have just shrunken in this area. So they just close the stomata. If you want to compare this with that earlier diagram, the difference will be very clear for you. You can see in this one, let me wipe out these things. You can see the cells, they are very much proper, they're very much intact. Okay, so what happened, it produces a gap in between, through which there's a gap through oh sorry there's a gap through which the water can release. But in this one, you see, this, due to shrunken stomata, the gap is being closed. There is no gap. The water loses the chance to go outside. Okay. Fewer stomata, the number of stomata may also be reduced. Narrow leaves, the leaves may become narrower to reduce surface area. Absolutely. Reduced exposed surface, in some cases, leaves may get wavy, rolled, or folded to reduce exposed surface. Okay, means less exposed surface means less chances of transpiration. Narrower leaves means less surface area. so it will also help in decreasing the transpiration. Loss of leaves may drop or may be absent or changed into spine as in most cacti. Let me tell you one thing, one interesting thing here, that leaves may be dropped. You might have seen that in the winter time the plants, they do releases, not releases actually, they loses the leaves. Why? Because in winter it is a dry season, correct? So in dry season there is a scarcity of water, so the plant cannot give the leaves. Leaves help them to photosynthesize, to produce their food. But during the winter season, when there is already scarcity of water in the soil, in the atmosphere, so they cannot afford the transpiration. Okay, so it's quite simultaneously takes place in the nature. All right, and you can see these are cacti, these are cactus, these are the spines, these are actually leaves. Okay, the leaves has changed, has adapted themselves in the desert condition. Means the cactus generally you will get them in the desert condition, so they have changed their leaves into spines. Spines means far less surface area, and as a result the transpiration stops. Thick cuticle, the leaves may be covered by thick cuticle in most evergreens. Evergreens means the evergreens of evergreen plants. Okay, so more thick cuticle means less amount of transpiration. And you can see that I have told you that I'll show you that shrunken leaves. You see, this is a plant, this is xerophyte actually. These all they all grow in the, what do you call, in the dry areas, dry season. So you see, this is a normal one. Okay, you can see the leaves, they are all open, and this is in the time means when there is water deficiency. So what happened, they have closed. You can see the leaves have closed. Here the leaves are expanded. See, they are so much open, and here they have closed. So some xerophytes will reduce the surface of their leaves during water deficiency. Yes, this is a dry season. Okay, if temperature are cool enough and water levels are adequate, the leaves expand again. So this is in the, in the good times. When the time is good, means good amount of water is there. All right, so very interesting. And these things we might have seen, but right now you guys have get to know that why this thing happened. So these are the some interesting facts I have told you before, that the transpiration do produces rain. So you see, one means single. Okay, you just get this one as single mature sunflower plant, they loses zero point 0.5 liter of water per day. One single maize plant loses 2 liter of water. And you see this one, a large apple tree may lose 30 liter of water. Okay, how much? 30 liter of water. Can you imagine how much of water, means in the form of water vapor, these plants they do produce in the nature? This is very, very important. Okay, so these are some facts. I hope you guys will enjoy it. In the next slides, I have the guttation, bleeding, and transpiration, and their importance. The, what do you call this? Their graphical presentation. Okay, I'll make a separate video. Otherwise, this one will get quite bigger. And do comment if you like the video, and if you want to know anything else, do ask in the comment section. Thank you. Take care. See you again.